I just did my routine, come to pick my daughter up. I see cops flying down. My wife calls me hysterical. There was a shooter active at the school. My daughter's with her friends right now, trapped in the closet. She's afraid to talk, but she doesn't want to talk loud. Okay, and I'm hearing students here on the site. There's like a war zone here with cops, machine guns, helicopters. The FBI is here. Everyone's here.
We are up here, standing together, because if all our government and president can do is send thoughts and prayers, then it's time for victims to be the change that we need to see.
The only way to prevent it from happening again is action. Our right to life is greater than the right to own air.
In a little over 6 minutes, 17 of our friends were taken from us, 15 were injured, and everyone, absolutely everyone, in the Douglas community was forever altered.
We clearly have a problem, and it needs to be addressed. And I think the biggest issue is that politicians and people in power are seeing these things go down, and they kind of shrug and nothing gets done. And I think it's unrealistic not to expect people to rebel and protest, because when something of this severity happens, it's only natural that people want something to change.
I heard that there were shots fired at Stoneman Douglas on campus. As I was driving home, I saw the headline that was like, oh, at least one dead or something.
I actually first heard about it when I was on my way home from school, and my friend has other friends at Douglas, and she goes, oh, there's a shooting at Douglas. And then I saw on the TV how bad it was. I was glued to the TV for hours on end. I couldn't stop watching it.
It didn't really hit me until I went home and checked Twitter and saw at least 16 dead, and that's when it really hit me, and it was really just kind of like, I don't think I really have words for it, just that kind of like confusion and like just being perplexed.
We should not have to be afraid to go to school, to learn alongside our friends, and end up threatened by a person with a gun who shouldn't have one in the first place.
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Show me what democracy looks like!
This is what democracy looks like!
Only 17 on Douglas, not enough? Enough is enough! The 26 at Sandy Hook, enough is enough! The 49 at Pulse, enough is enough! The 58 in Las Vegas, enough is enough! The 96 in America who die from guns every single day, but whose stories you never hear, enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough! Enough is enough!
I definitely think that this country has an obsession with guns.
First of all, we come from a culture that celebrates guns to a point where it's unhealthy, and so because of that, there is very easy access to guns and not that much concern about it. So I think the system of just the way Americans get their hands on guns and the way that we look at guns as a whole is kind of broken. We can fix it, basically.
The biggest error here was that we've had so many shootings and so much inaction from politicians and from people who should be making a change, but don't.
Now is the time for every one of us to rise up and change this country around and end the epidemic of mass shootings across the United States of America.
We are here because our voices matter. We are here because we know we can make a change.
And there are people who stand against you because you're too young. We say no more.
They want us to forget. They want our voices to be silenced, and they want to retreat into the shadows where they can remain unnoticed. But we cannot and we will not let that happen.
These are teenagers that are really passionate about leading and making a change, and they also have a voice. You know, we've been raised to be leaders and be responsible and don't be a follower. And that's exactly what we're doing right now.
They say we are too young, too naive to understand. But these are our ideas, our messages, our words.
Now, when it hit Stoneman Douglas, he chose the wrong kids to mess with, because those students then who have grown up in this environment and who are absolutely brilliant and who have the power to go out and do something have stopped and said, well, I guess we're gonna actually go out and do something.
We aren't going to be quiet. The kids from MSD aren't going to be quiet. We have to come together right now, and we have to find common ground so that we can move forward and so that something like this never ever happens again.
No more violence, no more hate! No more violence, no more hate! No more violence, no more hate! No more violence, no more hate!
This is our fight, and we're going to take a stand. This is just the beginning of what we're going to do. I think that there are brilliant kids from across the country who are leading this fight and who are going to lead the way forward for years to come.
Fight for your lives before it's someone else's job.